SCP-966 is called the sleep killer. Imagine having insomnia, inescapable insomnia, caused by an SCP. We're about to find out more about it today by Dr. Bob. Make sure to head on over to his channel, guys, and hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well, and if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this SCP.
A young man tosses and turns in bed. He adjusts his pillow and tries sleeping on his back, his side, his stomach.
3 a.m.
But nothing works.
Disturbing
he rolls over to check the time.
Mate in the bed.
3 a.m. This is the third night in a row he hasn't been able to fall asleep.
Dang.
He feels tired. He wants to sleep.
Of course.
But every time he closes his eyes and sleep starts to creep in,
talk about a wrecking schedule too, man.
And suddenly, he's wide awake again.
That sucks.
It's as if someone keeps flipping a switch in his brain to awake, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. It's affecting everything in his life. He can't concentrate in class. His work performance goes down the drain.
Wow.
Even his hobbies become completely unenjoyable.
Of course, because he's so tired.
All he wants to do is sleep.
And something's
his
trying to get him.
His friends and family can tell something is wrong.
Of course.
It's as if he has become a different person, and they urge him to go see a doctor.
Sleep deprivation.
But the doctors tell him there's nothing they can do for him. He's perfectly healthy otherwise. He should try some natural remedies like valerian root and get more exercise. He has no idea how many days he's been awake now. 4, 5,
wow. Not
maybe
sleeping
more.
At all.
At this point, the lack of sleep isn't even the worst part. It's the hallucinations. Sometimes they're just a shadow dancing outside of his vision, but others are incredibly vivid, feeling more real than his now dreary life does. He had to stop going to work and class entirely since he can't concentrate for more than a couple of seconds at a time.
Right.
His friends don't want anything to do with him, and who can blame them? He has uncontrollable mood swings and lashes out for no reason.
Poor thing.
He's tried every sleep remedy there is. He took the doctor's advice and exercised as hard as he ever has.
Tried to and exhaust
But with never being able to sleep, he has no energy left.
Wow.
He's becoming a living zombie.
Poor guy.
He gets up out of bed, but loses his balance and collapses to the floor. He tries to get up, but he can't.
Completely exhausted.
He'll just lie there for a while. He starts to drift away, and he readies himself for the jolt that always wakes him back up.
Yep.
But this time, it doesn't come. The wave of sleep that starts to wash over him feels different this time, though.
Oh,
it's heavier, more peaceful, and more permanent.
Wow, man.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob.
Hey, Dr. Bob.
And this is SCP-966,
nice intro,
also known as Sleep Killer. SCP-966 is the designation that the SCP Foundation has given to a creature that belongs to a group of anomalous predatory beasts, standing 1.4 to 1.6 meters tall and weighing roughly 30 kilograms. These hairless humanoids have an elongated face, a mouth full of pointed needle-like teeth,
very scary,
and each of their hands has 5 razor-sharp claws that can be up to 20 centimeters in length.
Like Freddy Krueger.
Though unlike humans and apes, they are digitigrade, meaning that they walk using only their toes.
Oh.
But you won't be able to see the horrible visage of SCP-966 under normal circumstances, as they are only visible under very specific lighting conditions. They can only be viewed under light that has a wavelength between roughly 700 and 900 nanometers, which is just at the edge of the light spectrum that's visible to humans, stretching into what's known as infrared light.
Right.
The only exception to this is if their skin, muscles, or organs have suffered from 2nd or 3rd degree burns, in which case the affected areas of their body will show up under a greater spectrum of wavelengths that are visible to the human eye.
Okay.
Though frightening to look at, SCP-966 are actually quite weak physically, with very low muscular density. Their bones are hollow, similar to birds,
That's why they put
and
you to
while their
sleep.
claws may be incredibly sharp, they are also easily broken, making them unsuited for use in combat.
Okay.
Additionally, they do not rest through sleep, but will, at seemingly random times, stop all movement and fall into a rest period that lasts roughly 3 to 5 minutes, after which they are able to resume their normal behavior.
Okay.
With all of these physical shortcomings, how did SCP-966 gain a reputation as such a fearsome hunter? The secret lies in their ability to emit bursts of a previously unknown type of wave. Hunting either alone or in pairs, SCP-966 uses this wave to inhibit its prey's ability to enter any of the restful sleep stages. and also stops the ability to microsleep.
So it takes
These
a
waves
while,
have been
man.
observed to be
God.
effective at up to 20 meters, though tests have shown that they can be blocked by post-transition metals, of which lead appears to be especially effective.
Okay. So just lead room, you can
SCP-966
sleep in.
hunts and feeds on medium to large-sized animals,
All right.
which includes humans. And once their quarry has been targeted by the sleep-inhibiting waves, the effect is permanent, with no method having yet been discovered that will allow them to regain the ability to sleep. Experiments have shown that unconsciousness can be induced in other ways, such as with the use of general anesthesia.
Sure.
Though these methods have ultimately proven to be ineffective, since although the victim is unconscious, they are still not receiving any of the restful benefits of sleep while in that state. The effects of sleep deprivation on humans, both mentally and physically, are devastating.
Yes.
Symptoms can begin setting in after just 24 hours that can include mood swings, memory issues, and sensory impairment.
Man.
After 2 to 3 days, the body's hormones become deregulated, and bodily functions like hunger, thirst, and temperature fluctuate wildly
It's some
as
bad
cognitive
stuff,
abilities
man.
start to dramatically decline.
You
Hallucinations,
really need sleep.
paranoia, and fits of rage are common, and the risk of death from sleep deprivation increases with each day
So
that
you could
passes
get
without
death
sleep.
from sleep
And
dep,
this
too.
is exactly what SCP-966 wants. After surreptitiously sending a burst of sleep deprivation waves at their victim, they will then stalk their prey until lack of sleep finally leads to total incapacitation, at which point SCP-966 consumes them.
Wow.
SCP-966 have proven to be both extremely quiet and agile when hunting.
Right.
However, they have actually been observed intentionally making threatening noises around their prey, presumably to further increase their already elevated stress levels and potentially hastening their mental degradation. On rare occasions, they will even physically assault their victim to further degenerate their mental and physical health.
Wow.
Some of SCP-966's prey will
Paranormal
experience
scratches,
especially
anybody?
intense hallucinations and bouts of rage, which is theorized to be caused by prolonged exposure to multiple instances of their sleep-stopping waves. Why some victims are exposed to multiple waves when a single instance has been shown to be 100% effective is unknown. And it's hypothesized that they may only engage in this behavior when especially hungry, to try and speed up the process. Though others have put forth the theory that SCP-966 may take some perverse form of joy in seeing its victims suffer prior to expiring.
I can only imagine.
Wild instances of SCP-966 have been found across the globe, and while the SCP Foundation has been successful in thinning their numbers, they still exist in high enough numbers to pose a serious threat to humanity.
Okay.
For these reasons, they have been assigned the classification Euclid. Mobile Task Forces IOTA-1 and
Special
IOTA-2,
containment
codenamed
procedures.
the Dream Hunters and Air Chasers, respectively, are continually monitoring for
Dream
any
Hunters
reports
or
of
Air
sudden or
Chasers?
violent deaths related to sleep deprivation in order to identify and neutralize the remaining instances of wild SCP-966. 4 SCP-966 specimens, 3 males and 1 female, have been acquired by the Foundation, and they are currently contained in a 10 by 10 meter room that is lined with lead and equipped with infrared security cameras.
So they can see
Each
him at all
specimen
times.
is fed 20 kilograms of meat each month, and in the event that the female specimen gives birth, the new specimen is to be taken for observation and study before being disposed of prior to reaching maturity.
Wow, okay.
Now go and watch another entry from the files of
Yo, that was really, really creepy, huh? These things just hunt and torture their victims until they're so weak that they can't do anything about it and they consume it because they're kind of frail too. That's pretty interesting, man. That's a cool take on sleep deprivation and insomnia too. You know it's got to have an SCP behind it. Guys, Dr. Bob, make sure to subscribe to him, as well as a couple other videos that I reacted to from him. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.